Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pyre. I am on the menu now. I shouldn't be on the menu. I should be getting right back into the game because... well, you'll see why. Because we're approaching a very pivotal point in the story now, and I'm getting excited, to say the least. Now, I enjoy these moments of silence, these moments of respite where I don't have to do any reading because I get to actually talk to you because it's, you know, I'm reading so much. But without further ado, let us continue our journey. At dawn, Volfred is already up. He reveals to you a pathway through the woods into the cold lands to the north, beyond which lies your next destination. Sklorian Shore. Where's my mouse? There it is. You have not yet been... Okay, Volfred revealed this to be the one path through the woods into the north. Because I guess only Volfred knows. Or only tree people. Maybe no saps, as they're called. What are they called in Lord of the Rings again? Do people remember? I should probably look it up. I have actually read not all the Lord of the Rings books, but the first one. I do not recall this place very much. Wow, look at some of these. I want to learn how to become a graphics artist. It's so cool. I just love it. You get clear of the woods at last and arrive on a land grown cold in the shadow of Mount Alodiel. You have to make it all the way to the top. In a moment of respite, Volfred calls everyone together to discuss matters pertaining to the rites and the plan to which he alluded. You banded together with a common faith that the freedom from the downside is not impossible, am I correct? But let me ask you something. What does freedom even mean to you? He says with a confronting look on in his eyes. He looks in your direction as he asks, defying you to answer. You cannot sense his own thoughts on the subject and only know the truth of how you feel. Well, I mean, what does freedom mean to you? I guess you can think this for yourself. Doing what you want. Achieving inner peace. Oh, that seems nice. Having no master. That also I kind of like. Being beholden to no one. Going where you please. To feel true. Oh my god. I hate that sort of stuff. Living without fear. Nothing at all. Freedom is just another empty goal to chase, to give one's life a false sense of meaning. I kind of can get behind that, but it's a little bit too nihilistic. I'm not going to say existential. You kind of I don't know. No master, achieving inner peace. Not a carefree heart. I don't like no master. Yeah, having no master. That's what freedom means to me. Freedom means answering to no one's will other than your own. I wonder if this impacts at all. I don't think it does. You tell Volfred that freedom means nothing... sorry. Freedom means not having to answer to anyone and going through life beholden only to one's own will. He considers your remark for a short while. Perhaps you led a troubled childhood, my girl, for all of us at one time or another have to answer to someone with more wisdom in the world than we. Understandably, but you're not beholden to them. Okay. Though you make reference to the kind of authority which governs the Commonwealth, we know which sent us down the river into exile. Would you be free if you were ruled beneath those bylaws once again? So is fighting for freedom even worth it? He then turns his attention to the whole group. Now, let me tell you all what freedom means to me. Freedom means to live life without fear. To be able to indulge one's curiosities and passions, at least the ones that cause no harm to others, without the constant threat of judgment and reprisal. This music. Freedom means not being made a criminal for what you know, whom you love, or what you choose to think or not to think. He looks out towards the distant mountains. Within the next few days, your time in exile could come to an end. You could see the Commonwealth once more, and you would be exalted there, given the highest honor, the opposite of how you got here. But you would not be truly free, I think. At the least, you would become complicit to an ancient system that would deign to cast down others such as you. It is a system whose well-intentioned founding principles have long been lost. And the 8 scribes, if they are out there still, have made quite clear they shall not intervene firsthand. That is where you come in. He turns to you and everyone again, looking to each of you. Long have I wished to gather such a group that, together, you might see that seeking freedom only for yourselves is too modest of a goal. You share our higher calling now. The plan, then, is this. We free each other from the downside, through the rites. Then we meet up on the other side. We organize. Each new moon at dusk, we join together at the Spiral Sanctum, the burned-down remains of the old capital of the Commonwealth. The remains stand as a warning to those who would seek to spread forbidden knowledge. We need as many of us there as possible. My agents on the other side shall explain the rest. You're plotting a revolt. Just so. I am asking a lot. You do have other options. Deceit, however, is not one of them. The reader and myself, you know by now that we can see through it. But you need not be part of this, nor is it in my interest to coerce you. You may go your own way if you wish. Live out your remaining days here, like so many others. So if anyone among you prefers that, if you cannot see yourself continuing to strive together in the Commonwealth as you are doing here, then speak now. Volfred pauses for a time, examining each member of the group. No one stirs. Very good. Some of you consider yourselves friends, some others not. But all of you here are bound together through the rights and are integral to our plan, capital P. Remember that. You seek true freedom, you will not find it waiting for you in the Commonwealth, but together you can bring it about both for yourselves and others. That is my promise. Ooh, then he lets out a long breath. That's it. I ask you all to think on this and let's reconvene along our journey to the summit. Volfred turns towards the mountains, leaving you to consider what he said and plot the wagon's northward path. We don't have much by way of options anyway. Let's move on. What Volfred was talking about there, like this ancient system that the Commonwealth was built upon, there's more about it in the rights. I mean, the Book of Rights. We will be reading about those. But the rights are inherently linked to how the Commonwealth is founded and how it works. Beyond lies Mount Elodiel. I suggest we make camp here at the base of the mountain, for we shall need our spirits and our strength to make the ascent. And, you know, Volfred is... Oh, yes, beyond the crystal seeks Edwin. I get to talk to Sandra again, hopefully. Why, hello, my lovely reader. What might I do for you? Can I speak with you? What's on your mind? How very kind of you to visit me again like this, oh lovely reader, for I was just standing about in the blackness of this void thinking it would be most pleasant if something were to happen for a change. I'm sorry. There was a long period of time that this incarceration of mine failed utterly to do anything but bring peace of mind. Not much of a punishment. I invite you to imagine an upbringing among the Sisters of the Arch, an ancient band of killers trained almost from birth to carry out their missions without fail. All the sisters needed was a name and a sum of 500 sol up front. That is, oh my god, Sol is the stuff that we use today. That's like an ancient, she's ancient, yeah, she's 800 years old. Living on the outskirts of civilization, your days all full of training which would kill you or just cripple you for life. She's part of the Sisters of the Arch. How do you suppose I lost my sight? Through glorious battle with the scribes? Or in a careless sparring session with my master? Ah, but I've not forgotten enough just yet. In any case, at first I welcomed the prospect of not having to struggle every moment to survive. But in less than 2 centuries, why? I started to grow terribly bored. It did not help at all that the Nightwings of early days were the stodgiest lot you could imagine, obsessed with obeying the book as strictly as they could. Some of them started to remind me of myself, I think, when I was young. Such idiots, the lot of them. Ah, but what am I saying, lovely reader? I shall not bore you further with such matters. I would have bored myself to death back then, if only I could die. Like so many other things, I think mortality is something oft taken for granted until it is taken away. So given your mortality, what say that we get back to business here? She says with a smirk and a smile. Yeah, the scribe trial for Hedwin. Oh, I can't remember what Hedwin's thing is. Hedwin's charm. You need not ask me twice. Simply verify which one of yours shall be the subject of my scrutiny. I mean his talisman. Yeah, Hedwin. All the way. Is it because he's leveled up or he has enough... whatever. You ask Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Hedwin. Oh, you must mean that nomad boy. So innocent, that one. I should have a lot of work to do with him. Then, let us bring him forth. Soon Hedwin appears in heat of the summons. Hey, my friend, what's going on? And into the book we go. What was I wanted to talk more about the scribes and the Commonwealth and the rights. Because it's all very interesting. And I love Greg Kasavin's writing. I realize that the whole team is involved. The apparition of Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, boy, your answer to me here. Understood. You are a fool, do not talk back to me. Your reliance on your friends is such a burden upon them. Let us see what you can do without their aid, save for that of your lovely reader there. Well, I'm more than happy to start a game using... Excellent. Oh, run. Woohoo! You can jump in right away because I realize jumping in, you respawn naturally, so it makes things a great deal easier. Let's sprint. Get them both. Rookie can't get me. Whew! Too easy. This is going to be a quick, easy little... what are these called again? Get 2 of them. Excellently done. Jump. I need to jump. Oh, I was hoping that Jody knockoff was going to jump. See, now they're going to respawn. Up. Too easy. Oh, we're done here, right? See, okay, some of these trials, they really vary quite a lot in quality. Some of them are genuinely difficult and take a while to do, and I'll lose a couple of times on those ones, and then there are others like this one, which are just, oh, that's it? We did it? Yes, Hedwin, that wasn't even hard. It seems you did indeed, boy. Your performance was sufficient, and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order to you and to your lovely reader. Now, farewell. And woogie, back out again. I'm sorry for the sound effects. Oh, it's still on the tip of my tongue. What did I want to say about the Book of Rights and the principles upon which the Commonwealth was founded on? You know, we'll get to it eventually, but not yet. Not until the next rite. After the next rite. Good to be back after all that. Say, what's that you have there? Gold's Bracer. Hedwyn power casts his aura with greater ease and gains infinite stamina for 2 seconds. To find their mark, Sandra and the Sisters of the Arch first had to circumvent his loyal man-at-arms. Yeah, gladly. Let's... Oh, I want to do that right now. Take care of it now, because he's not actually holding onto a talisman right now, is he? So I'll give it to him. So, let me just quickly brush through all these talismans just to remind myself what they have. So she has the jeweled band. Scribe Rock, which is extra presence. You have nothing. And you have the other band, meaning you're the one with infinite... with infinite stamina should, at the start... What's this? At the start of each match. He seems to have something on his mind. There you are, my girl. There was something which I wanted to discuss with you in private. Who is his voice actor? Wolfred. What's this? He's a long-standing exile of the Nightwings who seeks more than his own freedom. Wolfred stares at you rather intently as if reaching out to... Oh, I just remembered what I wanted to say about the Commonwealth. Never mind. And then... You do not know what it means to be a reader. Those such as we are not limited to reading... Oh, we are not limited to reading pages from a book, though your ability in this sense is nascent still. Mere flashes, uncontrollable. I see as well now that they haven't told you yet, your friends, and that explains a lot. They haven't told you readers such as you cannot go free. I had wondered why you would insist on pressing onwards with this group. In light of this, the answer then was plain. You simply did not know or fully realize. They did not deceive you, by the way. There is no reason they would know themselves other than Tariq, who shall not influence your thinking in such matters. Rather, I had expected when we first met that you already knew the truth of this from having read passages in the Book of Rites which states it plain. Only those who shall conduct the rites firsthand shall walk the path towards enlightenment and become eligible to regain their freedom. Perhaps you have not gotten to that part just yet. Wolfred breaks free from you and looks at you again, then he speaks to you as normal. It is plain that you are not in adequate condition to conduct the rites. Are you perhaps physically disabled? As in, I, the player character, I wonder. And this group values you as a reader. I wish only to ensure you understand what you are getting into here. Despite whatever hopes and dreams and promises might have been shared, I do not think the rites can help you return if that is what you had in mind. So once again, I invite you to depart, and I will see to it that you are compensated. Do not misunderstand. If it is your wish to remain, then you are welcome. By this journey we are on, it has no guarantees. Not for you, nor for any of us. I meant to say but this journey. Do you understand? He indicates the readers such as you cannot go free through the rites. I do not even care. You have learned in life to keep your expectations low and tempered. Yeah, say I understand. There is more at stake here than my freedom and alone. Whatever. I mean, not whatever. This is genuinely what I believe. You understand the words of warning, yet just the same, you choose to carry on. There is more that you wish to achieve on this journey than freedom for yourself. Oh, he smiled. I admire that, my girl, then. Very well. Know that we have much at stake here, in this anyway. Much more than just a shot at going back into the Commonwealth, which cast us down here to begin with. It sounds like you intend to stick around then. Well... Then we'll... Sorry. It sounds like you intend to stick around. Then we'll have lots more time to chat as we ascend the sacred mountain in the coming days. Until then, he strides out of the wagon then, leaving you with your thoughts. You might remember reading about Manly Tinterstaff, how he wanted to use the rights to gain great power in the Commonwealth. Earlier, Wolfred called for a group meeting, presumably to reveal his plan in more detail. Instead, he revealed some bad news. Wait, what are you saying? What I'm saying, my boy, is that while you can indeed get yourself out of here, it can't be all of you at once. We earn our way back one by one or not at all. But I swore that we'd go free together. We may go free together yet, but it's going to take time, and this is only the first phase. You, Hedwyn, and the others exchange glances. Let me make this plainer for you still. Here is how the coming days are going to unfold. First, we're going to ascend Mount Elodiel. There to the north, you may not think this wagon's fit for it, though rest assured, it's made the journey many times. Next, we'll pass through Scribes Gate. It is said the scribes themselves keep watch over Scribes Gate. The judgment of the scribes determines who can cross and who is sent the fast way down. Wow, that's cruel. Only the worthy pass through here, as your reader could attest if she did not merely skim the chapter of the book. Afterwards, we'll reach the Fall of Soliam, one of the downside's celestial landmarks. The temple at the highest point in the downside exists to honor the 8 scribes. and meet our adversaries in the right. They are to be the Tempers, a mighty triumvirate that has been the closest rival of the Nightwings, led by the demon Ignarius, the first demon we're going to meet. Led by the demon Ignarius. He is the most notorious demon leader of one of the most feared triumvirates in the rights. Not really. You'll know him when you see him. Both you and they shall choose someone from your respective ranks. Then, once one of the triumvirates prevails, their somebody will be whisked home to the Commonwealth. Whisked home to the Commonwealth? Precisely. Once returned, our somebody is taken in and clothed and fully pardoned. The Commonwealth knows all about this, the same Commonwealth that says a sentence into exile is forever and freedom from the downside is impossible. Many of these details the scribes themselves wished to be kept secret. Former exiles and the leaders of the Commonwealth alike have good incentive to protect those secrets well. This is what I wanted to talk about. So then that's it. We climb the mountain, someone goes back and everyone else stays. For the most part, those participating in the rites, yes, that's it. But I like your connotation and indeed, for us, that isn't it at all. If one of us returns, it shall be just a step along our path. However, let's let that sit for now. Gather your strength, we'll talk again on our way up. Volfred leaves the rest of you to consider what he said. You have time now for your vocations. At dawn you shall begin your ascent of Mount Alodiel. Again, getting a caravan-wide... Wait, is it study in private? Great, yeah. Good caravan-wide bonuses. Because I like those best. You find quite... Yeah, we've read all this before. Oh, yeah, sure, let's get more power, gladly. You tune yourself to the strange and mystic properties of the Book of Rites Embracing, such as possible, that which cannot be explained or truly known. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot say. Tenacity. Each rank raises your fellow exiles' presence, increasing the size of their auras. Nice. I'm more than happy with that. I want to talk about the Commonwealth. Okay, I can talk about the Commonwealth now. Let's go. So Manly, he has the right ID. He knows that freedom sets you back in the Commonwealth, sets you in good standings with the Commonwealth. In fact, all the people in positions of power amongst the Commonwealth, all those who are the people casting you down were once upon... You know, the people that cast you down into exile were once upon a time exiles themselves who have achieved freedom and given that honor to be in a position of power. Here before you lies Mount Alodiel, stretching far beyond your line of sight. Somewhere upon this mountain lies the only place from which you can escape the downside. Your companions gather around again before Volfred, who stands tall as ever. Whether from the cold air or the subject now at hand, you sense a tension in the air. Now then, you all have many questions now. I've done a lot of talking, so go on, ask away. But there is only silence. One question stands out in your mind, which you refrain from asking yet. If only one of you is to go free at first, who shall it be? Go on now. Don't be shy. Who first? Questions. Why us? Why you indeed, madam, that I can explain. You've seen the sort you stand against as adversaries in the rights. What is it that they want, do you suppose? They want their freedom back, of course. They'll settle for it in the Commonwealth's own terms. They'll gain their freedom and some cushy new responsibilities. Perhaps then they'll have a hand in sending still more exiles here to join us. Think on it. The Commonwealth rose from the ashes of a fallen empire thanks to the efforts of the first exiles who escaped this place via the rights. It is the Commonwealth's first and proudest tradition to honor those ones who live to redeem the transgression through the rights. In the downside. They have a certain wisdom, do they not? But as for you, I have been looking for a certain set of dispositions for a good length of time. All I needed was for somebody appropriate to show up and to listen. So I planted many little eyes and ears throughout this land, whispering hints of this, absurd as it may sound. Took someone with a certain faith and creativity to go for it. That someone proved to be Hedwin over there. He was tasked with seeking 2 trustworthy allies, an old buried wagon, and a reader. He was invited to bring others for the ride, all different sorts. Gather enough help, he and his friends could be free. Long story, but you know much of the rest. So then, why you? Because I've reason to believe you're not the sort to play right back into the Commonwealth's old hand. The rights, as you have seen, are quite exclusive. You're imposters in this little party. You are imposters in this little party. You could be the ones to break it up. Now then, more questions. Your head is beginning to spin. You can excuse yourself or keep listening. No. Yeah, absolutely. Listen. Volfred's explanations are a lot to take in, though you feel compelled to absorb as much of it what he is willing to tell you at this point. He prompts for further questions when Jodariel raises her voice again. Hold. You mistook my meaning. I understand your plan. Still, I wish to know why us? Why are we, among all others, chosen for this liberation rite? On a blooded moon at the fall of Soliam, Soliam, an exile from the prevailing triumvirate shall go free. The anointed champion then shall plunge into the shimmer pool and return in glory, the Book of Rites. Ah, I see. Well, but that is simple, really, madam. You are chosen, you are qualified, I should say, because, as the expression goes, 'tis what the scribes ordain, though in this case, the expression is quite literally true. When the 8 created the rites, each one of them anointed certain other exiles to participate on their behalf. Exiles who showed some promise of redemption. The triumvirates they formed have stood the test of time, replenishing their numbers as the individuals moved on or passed on. You've met them as they are today, the accusers, a vindictive triumvirate that conducted many liberation rites in the past, but seldom prevailed. The withdrawn, and so on. The 8 scribes also formed a special group against which all others would be judged. That group they called the Nightwings. This music, the will of the scribes, is called. You bear the books, wear their masks and raiments, you need but now show up to the rites, you see. The others erstwhile jockey for positions for a chance to take you on. Yeah, well, what if we don't? What if we don't show up? Then you would deny yourselves a chance of freedom and deny it also to your adversaries. Victory means nothing in a common right then? Participation is all that matters? Not so, madame. Only the enlightened may... Oh, phone call. Pause. And I'm back in tune with the music. Not so, madam. Only the enlightened may regain their freedom. While failure can be an excellent teacher, the scribes do favor the victor. So you see, those who do not conduct the rites or do not prevail in them sufficiently, they may find themselves barred from the liberation rites. But these are technicalities. The Nightwings disbanded years ago. Since then, no one has gone free, yet still the other triumvirates pressed on with fleeting hope that one day you'd be back. It's been a heavy price to pay in all of this. Now, if you'll excuse me, we'll talk again some other time. This is a lot. Some murmur to themselves about all this as Fulfred takes his leave. Others reconnoiter, I've never seen that word, I'm sorry, pathways leading up the mountain and present you with some options. And this is where we get a blessing. Gay believes the 8 scribes will bless whoever goes through here. Pamathe expects some long-lost valuables to be stashed here. A blessing or... Yeah, let's find a talisman. And we've already hit the 20-minute mark, so I'd like to get a move on very quickly to just before the scribes. And you can see, like, the statue that's just sort of where we're approaching now, that looks like Golgothanian. In fact, that is a statue made to honor Golgothanian, one of the 8 scribes. You joined Pamathe on her brief expedition to find anything of value dropped by those who tried to scale the mountain but did not succeed. Wait, I shall be joining you. What now? I get 2 chaperones? But sure, I'm game, whatever your wingless are into. Be silent, little bird, and fetch those trinkets and be done. My, so full of bitterness. You really ought to make the most of these last precious moments that we share. And you ought not to mince your words. Oh, please, we all know you're going to be the first one out of here, so why not quit your constant frowning for a change? I, the first one out of here? Of course, it's plain the others pity you. You've been here longer than the rest of us by far. Besides, maybe that Volfred, though he seems plenty happy here, making his speeches. How dare you to presume nothing is decided as of yet. Oh, no doubt, though if by some coincidence you do end up selected for the honor, I just want you to know something. I, truly from the bottom of my heart, do hope we shall prevail on your behalf. Because that way you shall be free, of me at least, and I in turn shan't have to suffer any longer your hideous attitude towards me and everything. At that you intervene, Jodariel's eyes burn with a fury, but then she calms herself. I shall see you at the wagon, reader. Why'd you come along, Jody? Pamathe scoffs as Jody storms off. I swear that one. Well, moving on, there's something sparkling down there. Be right back. She swoops out of sight, leaving you alone there on the mountain. Pamathe soon returns with something that lay long forgotten in the rocks below. Star Splinter. When preparing to fling the orb, the bearers charge up. Speed increases 40%. Wow, that's really good. Oh, there's another one. Hedwin expresses passing whim to see the view from here. He looks upon the... no, Hedwin. Hedwin's my bro. Bromance. Nothing really gay about it. No, okay, enough nigga higger. Man, is he still as popular as he was like 8 years ago? You and Hedwin walk in silence for some time as he conducts the customary survey of the area. Well, my friend, no sign of the howlers, as Jody would say. No sign of anything at all. You sense something is troubling him. Oh, it's just... I've been giving lots of thought to everything that Volfred's told us. In another couple of days, one of us may be gone all of a sudden. Or, I don't mean it to put it that way. One of us could go free. We earn our way back one by one, as he said. I want you to know something. The others and I, we talked it over, and when the time comes, we want you to decide. Decide who gets to go, if anyone. This might all be part of Volfred's plan, but we got here thanks to you. And even though I'm worrying right now about us splitting up, I guess if Volfred has his way, all of us will meet up on the other side. And won't that be a day? Worst case, we keep failing in the rights and be stuck down here together just like this. The two of you walking in on silence for a time. When at last you return to the wagon, Hedwin turns to you again. Thanks for the company. I think I'm better now. He's more prepared. XP! Wow! Awesome. Yes, gladly. Let's move on. I never knew you could get XP. I know you can get blessings like, you know, extra hope for the rights or extra aura or something, but you know what? We'll leave that there. This has been a full episode, a little bit longer, but just outside of Scribe's Gate, the other side, liberation awaits on the other side. So until then, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your viewership. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more Pyre coming in future, but until then, have a nice day.